what is that chick doing? Like, I have to get this side. If I've given a lot, then I might need to be filled up. If I take a lot of energy, I might need to release it.
Mm-hmm.
So the masculine side giving, releasing, feminine side receiving. So yeah, I'll do that. But if I get by the water, like a large body of water, love it. How many people love the water, the way it sounds like a waterfall or water fountain or the ocean wave just calm you? I just stand in the ocean going, and that's really weird. I've always had that, I remember doing a tour of England, I don't know how many years ago, one of these American Express tours. Got off the bus, we're at Brighton or someplace, and it's like cold outside, it's windy, and and the guy goes, in the bus, the guy who's like the moderator or the person who's the tour guide, and he goes, what are you doing out here? He goes, I love the ocean. Really? It's cold. It doesn't matter. I love it.
Yeah.
And it feels great, Nice. And it's one way to clear out energy real quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so these are 12 bullet points. The first 12 are going to relate to, or may resonate with you, okay? The last 2 points, you don't need to be highly sensitive to have these qualities, but higher sensitive beings are more prone to energy hosting, like I said, and they suffer great difficulty in facing confrontational situations, like I said. So, okay. You will recognize most of the symptoms listed here. The feeling of being different will probably have been with you from early childhood. You may have been able to see and hear in a way that others could not. I promise I'll send all of these notes to you.
Thank
you. You don't have to scribble down. You can if you want. I know, I'm a note taker too, but just let you know it's coming your way. Don't worry. I'm super generous when it comes to showing notes.
And I'm going to get a drink of water.
Absolutely. And go into the kitchen. That's where the water is. Okay, so.
Yeah.
If you were misunderstood as a child, you likely were told that you shouldn't feel that way. How many people got chastised for being too emotional?
Yeah, it sucked.
How many people got bullied by their family members because they were emotional?
Still do.
Yeah.
How many people?
Were watching
that?
Hello. We need a couple more chairs, I guess.
Yep, we'll grab 2 more.
I got this chair for me because this is all my junk. This is my junk chair. Okay. Marco will get you some. Okay.
Don't forget the plate.
Should I just?
Does anyone else need a pillow for their back while Marco's gone?
Yes, please.
The cat's away, so the mice will play.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
Anyone? They're super comfortable.
I'll take it.
Okay. Yeah.
And we can even push the chairs back a little bit if you want to. On this side, y'all want to push those chairs back a little bit so we have a little more room? Thank you. Wow, this is great.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Those of you who came in late, thank you, Marco. Those of you who came in late, when you go out, make sure to sign my email list so I can send you the notes.
I'm going to be a princess.
That's okay.
Not knowing how I am,
Well, you know what? You're an empath, so you are probably the princess and the pea.
I
I am the princess and the
Yeah.
pea. Like the princess that had all the mattresses and the
Whole
one pea
new, yeah.
on the bottom, in between the bottom two mattresses, she could feel it. That's me.
That's a whole new meaning to that movie now.
Okay.
Oh, the bottle.
It's all right.
The other bottle.
There you go. Yeah, these two need to sit together. Is anyone? Oh, that guy's already got a place. I need one more chair for. Yeah, one more chair for.
Hello.
We'll get you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Would you like a pillow?
Which means next class we'll have to have it on before him.
I know, right?
Gym class.
Super excited that everyone showed up tonight. This is great. It means I was tuned in. Okay, so you were misunderstood as a child, and you were told you shouldn't feel a certain way, or you were made fun of. I remember when I was watching a very emotional movie, and I would be crying, and then my sibling, "Oh, are you crying, Sharon? Ah, Sharon's crying!" You know.
That happens to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to make something of it? No.
Yeah, now we just go, why are you?
Yeah, why aren't you? This is the good part, you know. Yeah, I still, like, I go in, you know, I had to kind of get over trying to hide my tears sometimes because you're like, well, sometimes you have to. I remember I was in Bosnia leaving the country and I was feeling very emotional and I didn't want to leave. And I remember being in the Balkans are very like masculine energy, very locked down on the emotions. And I'm like this, I have my sunglasses on, like windshield wipers, like.
Yeah.
So I had to hold it in. Sometimes you do have to hold it in, but then you know you got to give yourself a chance to cry and not you know pressure yourself not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find that you are the target or get blamed or made to feel responsible for other people's problems? The scapegoat. That often happens. Okay. Do you also, especially, not only including authority figures and primary caregivers, teachers, and siblings?
Say again?
Do the people around you kind of make you blame you for stuff or you know target you? You become the scapegoat for other people's problems, and in feelings sometimes like oh you know whatever it happens in adolescence. You know, often when you're younger, you know, you just the people around you. But in adolescence, it expands, and so then now you're, you know, also being, you know, the scapegoat for friends and work colleagues and partners. Now, here's the deal: you will have a tendency to attract partners or people in your life who are emotionally unavailable. How many women have attracted men who are emotionally unavailable?
English.
How many men have attracted females who are emotionally unavailable? See, it works both ways. Because we're empathic, we can't help that, people. Okay, I'm just kidding. All right,
Is that
so
a good thing?
there's a pattern. Yeah, well, see, that's part of the deal.
Okay.
We were damaged when we were growing up. We
Right.
weren't given coping skills. So that's why we have low self-esteem that we've had to work through or are working through, depending on if you've overcome it or not.
Right.
And so the low self-esteem is the one, that part is making you attract people who don't honor you because you're not honoring yourself. You're not respecting yourself, you know. Yeah. But there's help on the way. We have a 12-step program. No, just kidding. Step 1, I'm an empath.
Empaths Anonymous.
Yeah.
EA.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so there's a continuing pattern of others not understanding, you know, us, and there's, you know, there must be something wrong with us. They don't feel the way we do, and so they think when we react to something, we're picking up all this energy, and so they think we're overreacting. Whereas they're like, can't you get over it yet?
Right.
You might have broken up with somebody and you're still feeling, you know, sadness for that person a year later. Oh, you know, your parent died 2 weeks ago. It's been a month, you know, 2 weeks. Are you over it yet? People who are super the antithesis of, you know, being empathic will be very mean sometimes, emotionally cruel, you know, and it's not, you know, they're doing the best they understand with what tools that they have.
Right.
So, and we're very compassionate too. So, yeah, we get a lot of stuff dumped on us. Not knowing how, you know, but knowing anyway, things that others do not seem to know or to understand. You just get this gut feeling about stuff. Yeah, I feel the shift. I feel it. The shift is coming down, you know. And like, okay, this is a. And I remember when I was working for the Houston Texans football team, I had the best boss I've ever had, and he was under the Charlie Casserly regime. So when Rick Smith came in, he kind of cleared house, and I got a new boss, and I knew coming down the pipe that Lloyd and I were not going to get along, and he was very abusive, very abusive. And so, one day he just decided to, you know, go off. And I left the door open this time so that there would be people that would witness or hear it. And he came really close. I could, you know, how you can read people's minds. He took this big paperweight off the desk, and I could tell the way he was holding it. He wanted to throw that at me. Now, if he had thrown that at me, I would have definitely have sued the team. Unfortunately, I would have done that because that would have been physical injury, you know. But I knew that's what he wanted to do. And he had anger issues and stuff, and he was an emotional abuser. So anyway, I don't know. See, I got off on a tangent again. I do this, and I was going to make a
alright.
point about it.
It's all related.
Yeah, but yeah, you can relate. Yeah, you've had situations where you know, and people who know that you're emotionally sensitive will bully you. They'll pick on you because they know you're emotionally sensitive, and they'll taunt you. So. I'll show you. Mary Magdalene taught me this little trick. It's called the kundalini. It's called the cobra. And what I do when I go into a situation where I need some chutzpah, some chahunga, chahonis, whatever, and I go in and she says, raise that kundalini. Kind of imagine a snake raising up. You're going to go through the chakra system. And then the cobra comes up and it's resting above, like right between the brain, on top of the brain, between the brain and his eyes are glowing. And especially, you want a piece of me? Give a hand, there we go, like this. Yeah. And it's like, I'm watching you.
That's what its tail is doing.
I'm watching you. And I'm like, I don't have to worry, my snake is going to take care of me, no? So I use that sometimes. So I need to, have an extra confidence in a situation that's going to be kind of, not so great. Okay, so you can actually feel guilty and responsible for other people's happiness or lack thereof.
Yeah.
And do you find that you are staying in situations and especially relationships for the sake of others to your own detriment sometimes? You know you don't need to be there. It's way past the time you should have left.
Yeah.
But I just can't leave these dear people. I can't leave that.
They need me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just
but
like-
then when they decide to get rid of you, they don't give you any notice at all. Right? You're out the door. Give them notice. Okay, here's your walking papers immediately. No 2-week notice. A lot of times you give notice and that's your last day.
Or you know that they're a good person, but they just have all this stuff that they don't clear out in themselves. So you're like, I know you're good, but you just got all this stuff and it's affecting me and you and everyone else. That's hard to walk away from.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're fixers, aren't we?
Oh,
Tinkers, yes. So you often find yourself in helping professions, right? Teaching, medical profession.
Counseling.
Counseling, all that kind of stuff. You often will find yourself in people-related jobs. Okay. And so anyway, and then when you do stay, the decisions you make for those relationships are mostly based on emotional and more than financial. So you may even stay in a dead-end job just because you feel that, it's the thing that you should do, even though it's not paying you as well as you would another job. So, the sense of loyalty is very strong there. So you have an inner knowing. But even though people call you emotionally sensitive, do you sometimes feel that you're actually the stronger person?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It takes strength to be able to cry, to own that. But that's very cleansing too. And people hold stuff in, they're not very healthy. And that's when people get really angry, and have anger issues, they hold stuff in. So at least we're clearing out. That's a good thing. Yeah. Think of tears as what was a little thing, a book. I love this little thing I got from one of my friends in Croatia. It was called Without crying. The tears are the rainbows of the soul, or something like that. Tears are the rainbow of the soul, something like that. Anyway, I forgot what.
They're like
it's
our
gorgeous.
mini
Yeah, it's a very gorgeous little. What'd you say?
They're like mini oceans.
Yeah. Okay, so in earlier times, you might have had a deep-seated fear of confrontational situations, so you learned to avoid. And you had coping strategies for avoiding conflict. And often you would play along, not to cause a fuss, because you didn't want to create any kind of anxiety. Because if you, even though it's the other person maybe that it's their crap, sorry, not their stuff, but even still, you're compassionate for that person, because you know that if you confront them, it's going to bring up issues for them, and then they're going to lash out at you, and so you're going to have feeling guilty that that you made them feel bad, and feeling responsible. Anyway, it's just a no win. It's like a catch-22. There's no end to that, so it's a trap. Okay, so this will give you often a feeling of being vulnerable and helpless, and you may even have physical symptoms. Has anyone ever had heart palpitations in very stressful situations, or maybe nausea? Do you ever feel sick to your stomach? I tell people, if you've made the wrong decision about something, because I tell people the ego lives in the left brain. It's a mind thing. The higher mind is connected through the body and the unconscious, the unconscious part of us. So our solar plexus area will tell us the truth about a situation before our mind will ever get there. So if your body is feeling uncomfortable, listen to that. Even if your mind is saying, well, the situation's okay, he seems like a nice person. Like, no, get out now. Listen to that. Because that is not connected to the ego. Because the higher mind, that universal life force, will keep you alive even when you're unconscious. Your heart will still beat, you'll still breathe. So that higher consciousness is telling you. So it's like a triangle that turns in your stomach. If it feels like, have you ever taken a job and then you knew immediately, or you went into a situation you knew you shouldn't have, but you did anyway, immediately you felt
oh my God.
oh, this is not, it's like, danger, Will Robinson, danger alert, lost in space. That's how it feels. Okay, so you need to listen to this gut. You may even freeze in fear. Have you ever been so afraid, overcome, that you were like in a bad dream, and then pretty soon the survival instinct kicked in? Yeah, I had one of those situations where a person was confronting me in a very violent way, and I'm like, oh, frozen. And he went into the government apartment, and I think he was trying to get a gun, and as soon as he did, I'm like, I jumped over, it was amazing what adrenaline will do. I jumped over a hedge about this high, I'm not even an Olympic runner or anything, Amazing what you'll do.
Yes.
Amazing what you will do. All the niceties that oh, may I use your phone? Tough toenails, I'm going to use them anyway, kind of thing. So it's one of those. Okay. All right. So you may have, after you have a very anxious experience, do you feel like you need to calm yourself down? Like you definitely need and if you don't, you're going to feel more anxious.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to go off somewhere. Have you ever been at work and had to go to the bathroom and just let it out? Yeah, especially if you're working with the public and all. So anyway, you can be the host for people, and you can supply them with this wonderful energy that you're giving them. And they're just... you're like... And then pretty soon you're like, you don't have the energy left for yourself at the end of the day. If you're in a helping profession, like teaching, like when I was teaching school, the first 2 weeks, I would come home and go to sleep immediately. I had to sleep 30 to 45 minutes just to have enough energy to eat dinner. That's how exhausted I was. It was like building up my, the energy. So yes. Okay. So I am going to do exercise with you guys. Okay. These will all be in the notes. This is exercise 1, filtering emotions. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There are a couple of other things. There's some certain things you can do to avoid taking on people's stuff. Okay. So I want you to envision, right now, close your eyes. Okay, and envision a sort of bubble that is transparent that surrounds you. All the way around the body, underneath the feet. And this bubble acts as a filter. So just kind of feel the energy of that bubble. And this bubble allows only that which you allow to flow through it. So anytime you have to go into a difficult situation, or maybe you're doing some kind of psychic or energy work with people, or you have to go before a group of people, you're going to sit quietly, you're going to state your intention in your mind, repeat after me in your mind. I will only allow positive energy that is for my highest good to flow through me. And I will not take on other people's emotions or illnesses or something related to that. Okay? This bubble has a reflective surface. So anytime you feel negativity or negative energy coming on, envision it bouncing off of this bubble. Okay, so imagine you have incoming negative energy, that energy vampire you always want to avoid at work or whatever, or family member. Put up that bubble and imagine now deflecting. Bouncing right off of that reflective surface of the bubble and going back to the person that's sending it to you. just out into the universe, rather. Okay? All right. Now you can open up your eyes. So affirmations or prayers or intentions are something that you can do. They do help. And before you get ready to